I'm very excited for this one. I'm also a bit terrified of it because I think it's going to be a scary book. Hello my loves, and thank you for joining me. It's Kirsten and we are doing my 24-hour Tackle Your TBR Readathon announcement. The readathon is going to be taking place on the 21st of October, which is another Saturday. It doesn't have to be a full 24 hours where you stay up though, that is completely your choice. I will be sleeping. I very much do not give up my sleep. Instead, this Tackle Your TBR Readathon is actually just focused on taking time to rest and relax, taking one day for yourself, but while we're at it, we might as well read. That's the idea of this. It is very chill. I do it bi-monthly. I also have a Discord where I do live updates of what I've been reading, so I'll have all of that linked below if you're interested. So as I said, this is very laid back, very chill. I do have 4 prompts that you can use, don't use, tie together into one book if you can, or do whatever you want with them. Let's get into these 4 prompts and what I plan to be reading in October. I'm very excited about all these picks. I've had these picks planned since a couple months ago, to be honest, apart from one of the books which I only got recently. I've had it planned out. I am so excited for it, so let's get straight into these prompts. So the first prompt is read a book from your TBR. Nice and simple. And for me, that is going to be What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher. This is quite a short book actually. It's only 175 pages long, and this is a retelling of Edgar Allan Poe, The Fall of House of Usher, and I have been told that I should read The Fall of House of Usher before reading it, but that short story is only 20 pages long, so I'm putting these together in one prompt. So I'm only going to read that one short story from this collection that I have of Edgar Allan Poe's stories. I'm not a massive Edgar Allan Poe fan, to be honest. I've tried a few of them from here and just found them a bit absurd, not something I really enjoyed. However, I have been told to get the full reading experience I should at least read The Fall of the House of Usher and then read What Moves the Dead. So that's what's been advised. Jan's the one that told me to definitely do it that way round, so that is what I'm going to do. So this is going to be for reading a book off my TBR, and then to be honest, by the time I've read it, unless I absolutely love The Fall of House of Usher, I'm gonna get rid of this book. I know so many of you love Edgar Allan Poe. I just can't get on with his writing style. I really don't enjoy it. I'm giving him a last chance. We're gonna read this short story that is 20 pages long, and if it doesn't blow my socks off, it's gone. It's gone. I've only kept it to do this read, and I have had this planned for October for months now. That's what we're gonna do. So far, we're only 195 pages in. I think this is going to be a great read. I have such high expectations. I really enjoy T. Kingfisher's work. I've read a couple of books of theirs by now. I've read A House of Good Bones, which is a horror book set in a suburban town in a house, and it has bugs and stuff, and it was creepy as hell. And I've also read Nettle and Bone, which I really enjoyed, so I'm very excited to read another one of their more gothic leaning books. So I think this is going to be fantastic. T. Kingfisher's more gothic leaning books are my favourite to read. So T. Kingfisher has kind of like 2 genres that they tend to dabble in. One which is more gothic horror type fiction, and another which is more like fairy tale-esque. Out of the 2, I kind of prefer the more gothic ones. I still like the fairy tale ones, but I think the gothic ones just got more that pull me in. So yeah, I'm very excited about this one. Okay, we'll read a tiny bit of it. So we're following Alex, who is a retired soldier, who receives word that their childhood friend Madeline Usher is dying. Okay, so that's how we're linking in the house. So we're going to the house and we find that there is a nightmare of fungal growths and possessed wildlife. So we're going to be having like mushroom horror, which I like looking at mushrooms. Like, I like the aesthetic of mushrooms. Really don't like eating them though, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so that's the first one for read a book on your TBR. It can be any book, can be an audiobook, an ebook, a library book, whatever works. It's just read a book. That's it. That's that first prompt. The second book is continue a series, but you can change this to continue a book you're already reading or whatever you want with it, to be honest. I am going with Tokyo Ghoul, and I'm actually doing 2 volumes. So we're doing volume 12 and volume 13, and we're going to finish this series. So excited. I recently picked up volume 12. For some reason I was really struggling to find it in, well, anywhere, but finally got it back in print, so very excited to actually finish off this series. It's going to be fantastic. This is a series where we're following a main character who has 1 foot in the human world and then 1 foot in the ghoul world, and ghouls are humans that need human flesh to survive, but they've also got other kind of monstrous qualities around them. It does get quite dark. There is a lot going on in here. I think the first few volumes are a bit more just starting to get darker, and then from about halfway through onwards, this has been rather dark. Lots of different things going on, lots of experimentations. I'm really excited to finish out this series. So I have got both of them on here. One, I like manga to break up my reading anyway, so I will read all day for this readathon. However, I do like to break it up. If I was somebody that listened to audiobooks, then I would break up the reading day with listening to audiobook and then do some journaling or something like that. As it is, I tend to use manga as a way to break up my reading for the day so that I can have a change of format, and it makes me kind of have like a palate cleanser of reading books all day. I don't know if that makes any sense to anyone. I also don't know why my camera's like turning around. It's very weird. It's following me around. That's weird. I don't have anything like that on it, I don't think. But yeah, so I'm very excited to actually finish up a series, which is fantastic, and also having the 2 manga. And the 2 of them, I think, because they don't take me long, they're going to take me about 40 minutes each to read, so I definitely think this is doable. Even though it does mean that for this readathon, I have way more books than I normally would for this readathon, so at this point we're already at 4. Granted, one of them is only 20 pages, but that's already 4 books. Like I say, you do what you want with this readathon. Read 1 book, read 10, whatever works for you. Anyway, so that was for continue a series. And then we have a prompt of read a book I keep putting off. And this is one that I have been putting off, but putting off deliberately to read during this readathon, and that is Shirley Jackson, The Haunting of Hill House. I'm very excited for this one. I'm also a bit terrified of it because I think it's going to be a scary book, but it's 246 pages long and the writing's actually really nice. I think it's going to be really easy to read, but I am also terrified, absolutely terrified. The only thing that I've read of Shirley Jackson was I had this small little Penguin Black classic of short stories and it was bizarre. It was so weird. I feel like I should have kept it. I wouldn't have ever reread it. But it was really weird, so weird. Like some of the stuff that was going on, it felt like I was in a dream the whole time. For this one, I don't know what to expect. I genuinely don't, but I think it's going to be scary. I am a bit of a wuss, so it won't take much to scare me. But it says here, alone in the world, Eleanor is delighted to take up Dr. Montague's invitation to spend a summer in the mysterious Hill House. Joining them are Theodora, an artistic sensitive, and Luke, heir to the house. But what begins as a light-hearted experiment is swiftly proven to be a trip into their darkest nightmares and an investigation that one of their number may not survive. So it could be another fever dream book. Who knows? But yeah, this is one that I have been putting off, but putting off with the intention to read for this October readathon. Basically, at the start of the year, when I realised that the readathon, because it's bi-monthly, was going to end up happening in October, you can bet your bottom dollar I was thinking, right, all of these gothic books, I want it to be gothic, horror books, I want all of that. That is what I want a day for because we're in October, I have to. So that is going to be one that I'm reading as well. I think this is going to be one of the few times where the TBR just doesn't change because I'm excited to have a day of reading darker gothic books. And even the manga, because of how dark it's getting, it fits in with that. So the final prompt is read a short book. And this one is a new edition, but the minute I picked it up I knew exactly when I was going to be reading this, and this is The Salt Grows Heavy by Cassandra Core. This is a new release and it is teeny tiny. How many pages is this? It's 125 pages long, so it's not going to take much time at all. They have written another book which is Nothing But Blackened Teeth, another book with an absolutely terrifying cover. I actually really want to get that now as well, before I've even finished this. But yeah, I'm very excited for this one. This is honestly such a creepy book. I'm intrigued by this one. I found it in Forbidden Planet in the sale, so I have to. It was perfect. This one, I don't really know too much about it. I've got a mermaid and a plague doctor, and it's going to go from there. I don't want to know much. It's only 125 pages long. It's not long at all, but I think it's going to be such an eerie, spooky book. This doesn't even add up to that many pages, and I don't even think it's going to take me that long to read all of these books, so I might, even on the day, pick up some more short, spooky books. Like I've got a couple of like short story collections that I could read and finish off, so it might be that. But for the prompts wise, these are the books that we're going to read. So just to quickly recap, because I did a lot of waffling, to read a book on my TBR is What Moves the Dead, as well as the short story The Fall of House of Usher. Continue a series, we're going to finish the Tokyo Ghoul series, reading volume 12 and volume 13. A book I keep putting off is The Haunting of Hill House, and then reading a short book is The Salt Grows Heavy. Very excited for all of these books. I think it's going to be a fantastic reading time. You'll have to let me know if you want to take part, and if you decide to use the prompts, let me know. I do have a graphic which I will do as a community post probably about a week before I start this readathon, that if anybody wants to use they can have. If you would like the graphic before then because you want to turn this 24-hour into a month-long readathon, or you want to do it on a different day, or you want to do it over a week, whatever, just let me know in the comments below and I will put up an extra community post for it. It's the same graphic that I used last time, so you can always go to the community tabs and have a look and it will be there for you. I'm very excited for this. I really enjoy this readathon. It's a day of just relaxing that I very much need, and it gives me a reason to do nothing but read. And by making it as part of a readathon, I can say to people, no, I'm not doing things, I've got plans, I'm hosting a readathon, or I'm part of a readathon, and so I'm just going to be reading. And it just gives me an excuse to do nothing but read. I'm somebody that has a constant to-do list and I'm constantly feeling like I need to get things done. So having this day as an actual readathon allows me to just relax and do nothing but read, instead of spending the day editing or going off and doing the whole to-do list of things. Don't know if that makes any sense to anyone, but it's just a reminder to myself and to you to take that time to rest, relax and read, and not to feel guilty over it, is basically the message that I'm going for. Like I said, let me know if you're taking part, let me know what you decide to read if you do. I will have everything linked below if you want to take part in the Discord and that for it, and I hope you enjoy it. So that's it. So thank you so much for watching. Because all of these are more spooky books, you can go for any sort of horror emoji that works for you. I think there's a few in the emojis, and we're gonna leave it there. So thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed it, please do give it that thumbs up, subscribe and comment. Those three things really help this channel grow. My social media links and anyone I've mentioned will be linked below, and I will of course catch you in the next video.